Cars are lined up here in a continuous flow of traffic at a new Wareham drive-thru. There are about 15 cars lined up at a time, but they're not waiting for burgers and fries. They're getting bottled water here at the water department because their water isn't safe to drink at home. Greg Donahue is a water technician handing out gallons. It was supposed to be his day off today, so is sweating out here on a hot summer day a pain for you, Greg?
Not really. There's a commitment to the department. We're a small knit group of people, and we all try to help each other out. Small community. We know most of the people coming in, and obviously I'm getting paid, which is good too also.
Total coliform bacteria is the culprit here. The water department doesn't know exactly what the cause is, but they're working on finding out. In Wareham, I'm Peter Vadala.
The Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce named its Citizen and Business of the Year last night. The Citizen of the Year lived through the Great Depression and wrote 2 books about maintaining a loving spirit against the odds. WNTK's Peter Vadala was there.
The Lebanon Chamber of Commerce Holiday Social was a celebration of local businesses. The banquet at the Fireside Inn honored 2 award recipients.
He pursued a formal education. She began studies at Lebanon College.
Raymond Lagasse, last year's Citizen of the Year, passed the torch to author Madeline Mahefka, who says she was touched.
Oh, it means the world to me. I, never seemed to get out and do anything for the community. During my younger years, I was working and raising a family. It's only been in the last few years that I've been able to do a few volunteering jobs and to write and do some of the things I really like to do.
Susan Johnson and her Jiffy Mart were also honored at the banquet as Business Person and Business of the Year. Johnson was also humbled by the award.
I'm really overwhelmed because this is just so wonderful. I've always believed a vibrant part of the community, and I started with a store back when it was individually held with Bill and Kathy Demers, and they had a really great idea of business and giving back to the community we serve.
Like in Mahefka's books, an overarching theme of the night was the joy of a giving spirit during tough times. Peter Vadala, WNTK News.
Aaron, call it cheesy, but that's the name of a new cheese created by a Vermont farm, Barack Obama. It's a marketing plight that could only come from a self-professed talk radio junkie. Lainey Sondiller at Lazy Lady Farm in Westfield says she brainstormed the name while working the farm.
I had these bricks, and during the day I kept saying brick what? Thinking yellow brick road, build a brick, blah, blah, blah. And then finally I just started saying the word brick a little bit slower. And I don't know, unfortunately I think I was in the middle of shoveling manure in one of the pens, and I said brick. And then that just kicked in to Obama.
Barack Obama cheese costs about $24 per pound. The Wine and Cheese Depot in Ludlow, Vermont is one place to get Barack. The only other places to get Barack are in a few select cheese stores in major cities. While you're there, you might as well also pick up some Tom DeLay and Condé Send, 2 of Lazy Lady's other cheeses. Peter Vadala, WNTK News. A 14-year-old girl is in critical condition at Hasbro Children's Hospital in Rhode Island after she, a child, and a man were carried out to sea by the waves off Connecticut Point. Luckily, 2 good Samaritans, one on kayak and one on catamaran, got them to shore with the help of the Warwick Fire Department. Lauren Jorgensen is with the Coast Guard. She says the 14-year-old had been underwater for a significant period of time.
The kayaker did recover a child that was unresponsive and started doing CPR. And then the Warwick Fire Department came over and assisted with the CPR. And the fire department and the kayaker got the child to shore and managed to revive the child. And then the catamaran recovered an additional adult and a child.
The adult male and the other child are expected to be okay. Peter Vadala, WBZ News Radio 1030.
Good morning. WNTK News Time is 8:03. It's going to be sunny today. Rob Carolyn's extended Lake Sunapee Dartmouth region forecast comes in 5 minutes right here on WNTK. I'm Peter Vadala, WNTK News. The Sturm Ruger plant in Newport was hit yesterday by fire. The story was broken by WNTK's own Aaron Aldridge for the Eagle Times. It happened in what's called the salt room or the acid room. It's a section of the building where they heat-treat gun parts. Chief Wayne Conroy in Newport told WNTK what happened. He takes it from when they entered.
Yes, we had heavy fire in the acid room at the foundry at Sturm Ruger. The first arriving crews went in and knocked down the fire real quick using very little water because of the magnitude of what they were faced with in there. You're not supposed to use water in there. So at that point, then it was confined to the ductwork on the outside of the building. We dismantled the ductwork on the outside, put out some of the hot spots, and then kind of returned.
Conroy doesn't believe the fire is suspicious, but the cause is still under investigation. The first group of potential jurors in Michael Addison's murder trial arrive at Hillsborough County Superior Court this morning, but seating a jury could take over a month. Michael Addison is charged with shooting Officer Michael Briggs to death in October 2006. The alleged murder happened after Addison and the woman he was living with allegedly robbed a restaurant and a store.
It was his specific intent to kill Officer Briggs that night.
That's Assistant Attorney General Will Delker. Earlier in the trial, Addison pleads not guilty. About a third of the people voting for president will vote early this year, but not in New Hampshire. More than 30 states allow any registered voter to cast an early ballot. In New Hampshire, though, you have to meet one of 4 conditions, like being out of town on Election Day. Congressman Paul Hodes and his Republican challenger will be at New England College today for a debate on health care and financial security. The debate is sponsored by the AARP. Death penalty opponents have been hoping 2 current trials will focus attention on their cause. However, the lawmaker who's been trying to repeal the death penalty in New Hampshire is pushing for a study. Representative Jim Splain from Portsmouth says he might disagree with the report, but he says at least a study will force the state to do some critical thinking on the issue. The ABC network comes to Wethersfield today at 2 o'clock. A crew from ABC's Good Morning America comes to Wellwood Orchards to get a political pulse on the residents. The owner of the orchard has put signs up around the orchard in an effort to draw visitors in during the shoot. And the annual Sunapee Chowder Fest attracted a crowd of well over 1,000. 13 teams competed for the Chowder title. Results expected around Wednesday. The anchorage at Sunapee Harbor might be reclaiming it. The chef wouldn't tell WNTK's Aaron Aldridge the secret that helped him win last year, though. Guess we'll have to find out. WNTK meteorologist Rob Carolyn's extended forecast comes in a few minutes as the WNTK time approaches 8:07.
What's up with the local real estate?
Cars are lined up here in a continuous...